So you Christians believe a magic sky daddy poofed everything into existence out of nothing. Real scientific. Ever heard something like that? Here's the problem. You never said that. Nobody said that. They built a cartoon version of your belief, lit it on fire, and took a victory lap while you stood there wondering what just happened. That's a straw man. And in part 2 of the misdirection files, I'm going to teach you how to catch it the instant it happens and take your real argument back before it gets buried under a scarecrow. Recognize the attack. Deploy the right answer. Let's go. Definition first, because you cannot defend against what you cannot name. A straw man is when somebody distorts your position into a weaker, dumber, more extreme version. One that's easy to knock down, and then attack that version instead of what you actually said. They built a scarecrow, punch it over, and act like they beat you. But they didn't beat you, they beat a dummy they stuffed with straw themselves. Think of it this way. You bring a trained soldier onto the field. Instead of engaging your soldier, the enemy props up a straw dummy in your uniform, knocks it flat with one shove, and declares total victory to the crowd. And the crowd cheers, because the crowd never checked whether that dummy was actually you. That's the straw man in the sentence. The applause is real, the victory is fake. And unless someone points out the dummy and says that was never him, the lie stands. Here's why this one is so dangerous. In some ways, more dangerous than the red herring we covered in part 1. It feels like they're engaged in the argument. They're using your words, creation, faith, God, design. So it sounds like a genuine rebuttal. But somewhere in the reframing, they quietly swapped your actual claim for a distorted one. And if you don't catch the swap in the moment, you'll spend the next 10 minutes defending a position you never held and don't even believe. That's a trap. You get baited into defending the scarecrow. And every second you spend defending that dummy is a second your real argument sits untouched on the sideline, doing nothing. Worse, to everyone watching, it looks like you're struggling, when in reality, you're losing a fight that was never yours to begin with. You're swinging at a ghost they built for you.
Please get to target check site to seek a selection.
Let me give you a few more, because a strawman wears a lot of costumes, and you need to recognize the body underneath. You say the universe had a beginning, and therefore points to a cause beyond itself. They fire back, so you think you could just plug God into every gap science hasn't explained yet. No, that's not the argument. You made a specific claim about cause and effect, and they replaced it with the lazy God of the gaps. Different claim, easier target. Or you defend objective morality grounded in God's nature. They respond, oh, so without your religion, nobody could ever be a good person. Atheists are just all monsters. You never said that. You said morality needs a foundation, not that unbelievers can't do good things. They inflated your point into an insult so they could act offended and dodge the real issue. Or the classic. You affirm that God created the world, they say, right, 6,000 years ago, dinosaurs on Noah's Ark, the whole thing. They picked the most mockable caricature they could find and stapled it to your name. Notice the pattern in all three. Take the real position, swap it for a dumber one, and swing hard at the dummy. Same skeleton, every time.
Please get to target check site to signature. Don't mention.
So how do you catch a straw man in real time? 3 tells, lock these in. Tell number 1, you don't recognize your own belief in their description. When someone restates your position and your gut says, wait, that's not what I believe, pay attention to that flinch. That instinct is your alarm system firing. Do not override it to be polite. That gut check is usually right. Tell number 2, the phrase, so what you're saying is, followed by something you never actually said. That exact phrase is the number 1 delivery vehicle for the straw man on planet Earth. So what you're saying is the Bible is a science textbook. No, that's not what I'm saying. Anytime someone reframes your view and hands it back to you, verify the reframe before you accept it. Don't let them write your position for you. Tell number 3, the version they're attacking is absurdly, cartoonishly easy to knock down. Here's the logic. Your actual beliefs are defensible. That's precisely why you hold them. So if the version they're swinging at is laughably weak, so weak that a child could refute it, stop and ask yourself, is that really my argument, or is that the scarecrow they just built? Real positions have weight. Strawmen fall over in a breeze.
Please get to target check site to signature. Don't mention.
Now the counter. 3 steps. Step 1 is the one everybody skips. Step 1. Stop and correct the record. Do not defend the scarecrow. Refuse it outright. That's not my position. Let me tell you what I actually believe. You never ever fight on the ground they rigged for you. You reset the ground first. This takes discipline, because the pressure to start answering is enormous. But if you answer the distortion, you've already conceded it was yours. Don't. Reject it first. Step 2. Restate your real argument, cleanly, precisely, in your own words. I'm not saying God waved a magic wand. I'm saying this. Everything that begins to exist has a cause. The universe began to exist. Therefore, the universe has a cause. That's the argument. Deal with that. Now the scarecrow's gone, and your actual soldier is back on the field where he belongs. Precision is the weapon here. The clearer you restate it, the less room there is to twist it again. Step 3. Hold them to it. So let's be clear. Are you responding to what I actually said, or to a version you find easier to attack? You just exposed a tactic to everyone watching, respectfully, precisely, without heat. And now they've got 2 options. Engage your real argument, or keep swinging at a dummy while the whole room sees exactly what they're doing. You win either way. Let's run it live so you can hear the rhythm. Skeptic says, so you magically think a magic man in the sky created everything because you're afraid of death? You respond, that's not my position, and I want to be fair to both of us. Let me tell you what I'm actually claiming. My argument is that the universe began to exist, and things that began to exist have causes. That's not fear, that's cause and effect. So let's deal with the real claim. Do you have a naturalistic explanation for how the universe came from nothing without a cause? Hear it, refuse, restate, redirect. You never touched the scarecrow. You didn't get defensive about fear of death. You didn't take the magic man bait. You calmly set it aside and put your real argument back on the table. That's control. And the church body watching just learned they don't have to defend every insult thrown at them. They can reset the ground and keep standing. Here's the principle underneath the whole thing. The strawman survives on exactly one condition: the audience not knowing your real position. That's its oxygen. So the antidote is clarity. The clearer and sharper you state what you actually believe, the less room anyone has to distort it. Muddy arguments get strawmanned all day long. Sharp, well-defined ones don't, because there's nothing to grab and twist. And notice the discipline this demands of you. You have to know your own position cold. You cannot correct the distortion of your argument if you're fuzzy on the argument in the first place. If you only half know what you believe, you'll get walked into defending a scarecrow every single time, because you won't be sure where your real position ends and their caricature begins. It's exactly why we train. A believer who knows precisely what they believe and why they believe it is nearly impossible to strawman. There's simply no fuzz left to exploit. One warning, and like this last time, this one cuts towards us, not them. Christians strawman skeptics constantly. Oh, you're an atheist, so you think life is meaningless. There's no morality, we're just cosmic accidents that might as well do whatever we want. Careful. Be honest. Is that his actual position, or is it the easiest version for you to knock down? If you want the standard applied to you, you apply it to them first. Represent their view accurately. Yes, even the view you're about to completely dismantle. That's not a weakness. That's not a compromise. That is integrity. And here's the part that should motivate you. The argument that defeats the real position is infinitely more powerful than the one that defeats the scarecrow. Beating the dummy convinces no one who's paying attention. Beating the real thing is undeniable. That is the difference between a soldier and a showman, and the watching world can always tell which one you are. Lock it in. Someone reframes your view, run the checklist. Do I actually recognize this as my belief? Did they lead with a "so what you're saying is"? Is the version they're attacking suspiciously, cartoonishly weak? If it's a distortion, stop, correct the record, restate your real argument cleanly, and hold them to it. Drill that until it's reflex, and carry this with you. Do not defend the scarecrow ever. The moment you start swinging at the dummy, you've lost, no matter how well you swing. Reset the ground. Put your real soldier back on the field and make them fight what you actually said. That's not just how you win an argument, that's how you honor the truth you're defending. We don't need cheap victories over dummies. We've got the real thing. and it stands on its own. Guys, here's your live fire drill. Go into the comments right now. When someone builds a scarecrow down there, swaps your real position for a dumber one and swings at the dummy, you refuse it. Restate your real argument and hold them to it. That comment section is your practice field. It's where you rep the pattern with live rounds before you ever need it face to face. And I'll be down there with you. If you get pinned down, tag me. I'll step in and help. That's how we train. And if this equipped you, send it to a believer who's tired of defending arguments they never made. That's the Great Commission. Go therefore make disciples of all nations. Matthew 28:19. We don't just win conversations, we train the ones coming up behind us. Subscribe to Weapons Training now and sharpen your sword. And join me for Ground Truth Sunday Live, where we break down this week's news from a biblical worldview. That's the Misdirection Files, locked. Next, the Trap Files, Part 1, the Burden of Proof Shift, where they make the claim, then lean back and demand you prove yours while they risk nothing. I'll show you how to hand that weight right back where it belongs.